George Canberra is here, and hopefully we'll have some questions for the water district also. I'll pick number 4. Number 8.
I know that right now banks are not loaning much money up for people to start businesses. However, I also know that up and down this corridor right here, if we don't get our foot in the door with some people, then these other cities are going to grab a hold of these companies, and we're going to be left alone with no businesses. Because a lot of these businesses that I think would come here are probably going to eyeball these other cities first. That's just the way it seems to have been happening up to now. So, given the fact that knowing that the banks are not really lending money right now for people to start businesses, I think it's important for us to get out there and try to draw businesses and at least let them get the opportunity to know we're here. You know what I mean? Get the exposure for these people. So my question is, what will you do in the near future to bring new businesses to Wildomar, or to get them to exposed to our community? Sure.
Well, we have an economic development subcommittee. Marcia and I are on it, and at one of the recent council meetings, we gave to, the council and the community had the opportunity. It was part of the agenda, our goals, and then the steps under the goals to get there. We do. What are we going to do? Basically, get information out. We have maps that show the different areas of our community, how many acres we have for commercial, how many acres we have for industrial. A very nice map like that was done and taken to the International Council on Shopping Centers. A lot of graphic things like that. And then also we had an ad in Inland Magazine about Wildomar. We don't have a big advertising budget, so it takes legwork, and we do plan to market the community and get more information out there. It's just going to be a time. It's not going to be a quick process.
No, I understand. But real quick, are we getting any feedback from them?
Yeah, well,
I give you 30 seconds to...
Okay, we are, but the problem is the banks are... The problem, until lending loosens up, it's going to be difficult. And also because companies on the East Coast are not interested in coming to California because of the anti-business climate. So if they're already out here, we may be out in this area in California, we may be able to get them, but the East Coast companies don't want anything to do with California.
Yeah, I know businesses aren't getting the money from the banks to start businesses, but are they at least looking at us and kind of saying, you're coming here or expressing some interest?
I'll give you a minute and a half to respond, because
we have had businesses coming to look into Wildomar, and a big part of the problem is the banks loaning money. But the reason the banks aren't loaning the money is it has to be economically viable for that company to open. And when you're charging, and it starts with the state of California, when you're charging all of these fees and imposing all of these laws that these guys have got to jump through, these loops, to be able to open a business anywhere in California, let alone Wildomar, that's why the banks aren't loaning. There's so much upfront fee before you even get to the money to open the business and show that you know how to run the business. We've had a couple hotels here. They couldn't get the financing because they couldn't get through some of the restraints. And I'm not saying that you have to give it all away. We want good projects here. We want to be able to look at the projects. We want them to do their environmental studies that are required. But we need to relax them a little bit, and that needs to start at the state. Bridget at the shopping center, they walked the whole area. It was a huge amount to have a booth there. For us to have a city booth there was thousands and thousands of dollars. She put an odometer on, and she walked that thing from one end to the other, and businesses that we thought we'd want here, she stopped, and she told them about Wildomar. She handed out to them. We've had some inquiries come back from them. That's what we need. That is what we need. a volunteer group we've talked about, and we're getting very close to a volunteer group to write these letters to businesses that we want here and make it business friendly as we can without giving it away.
That's my question, is if we're getting the exposure to getting some
trying.
interest. If they're not getting loans, they're not gonna go to Marietta or else in order to make it either. The point is right now is to get the interest.
Kristen, you have a minute, 30 seconds also.
Well, economic development is very important, key to Wildomar. You're right, in order to make our tax base and be able to afford those other essential or even just perks for our citizens. Community center, an extra, librarian, those kind of things that I know that Riverside County pays for. But if we could pay for it ourselves, that would just be so much better to add a wing onto the library. I wish I had known about our economic development, status to find out if businesses were coming in, looking into Wildomar. Right now, I went to the John Husing economic talk when he spoke, and he said the first thing you ask businesses are, what brings you to a place, and it's quality of life. So far, we do have great schools. Our schools have been increasing their API, so it makes us competitive with the neighborhoods, surrounding neighborhoods. We have a low income. Parks right now could deter that. If people see that we are not even willing as a community to pay for parks, businesses aren't going to say, you know what, let's set up a television distribution place, because they're going to buy a computer, they're going to buy a television, they're going to buy a oven. If we're not even paying $2 plus a month for our parks for everyone. So I think that's a big issue right now, to bring businesses in. It's going to work against us right now.
It takes a lot of strategic